You're standing in a Romanian graveyard at a stranger's funeral. You were just looking for gas, but then Google Maps said, turn right onto the goat path and proceed through the woods. Ignore the screams. Now you're here. It's quiet. Too quiet. The kind of quiet that makes you instinctively check your own pulse just to be sure. This funeral is strange. It's nothing like the time you buried your goldfish in the backyard. The coffin has been nailed shut. The priest is swinging garlic around like he's trying to season a demon. And someone casually mentions they've hired a 7-year-old child dressed in white to ride a horse over the grave, just in case. In case of what, you wonder? What the hell are these people afraid of? Let's talk about the Romanian vampire, the Strigoi. The Strigoi are Romanians' unofficial champions of post-mortem overachievement. They aren't the brooding vampires with European cheekbones and closets full of capes, and they certainly don't sparkle.
Well, in Paris we did sparkle for a little while.
These are angry, uninvited corpses who didn't get enough attention in life and decided to make that your problem after death.
I missed the part where that's my problem.
Some are still alive when they're identified as Strigoi. These are called Strigoi V. These are folks who are, let's say, flagged early for the afterlife blood buffet before they even die.
Sounds like an amazing opportunity.
Then you've got the Strigoi Mort. These are ones who are already dead, but not dead enough.
She's dead enough!
They come back, usually to haunt their families, ruin crops, whisper obscenities to goats, pee in birthday cakes, knock your phone into the toilet, just in general really mess up your Tuesday. They don't glide through the moonlight and velvet. They show up looking like they just crawled out of a casket full of beef jerky. They've got the fashion sense of a disheveled raccoon and the attitude of someone who absolutely would have been prohibited from living anywhere near a school. Now let's say you want to become a Strigoi. You wouldn't, but let's say you did.
Of course I did.
The requirements? Well, all sorts of things could make you a candidate for the Dead Man's Party Plus. For example, you could just be the 7th son of the 7th son. You could also die unmarried.
Never get married.
Note that in parts of Romania, it's a valid concern that a substantial percentage of people are only on Tinder in order to avoid becoming the undead. Did you commit perjury and get executed for it? Well, congratulations. You're now eligible for ghoul benefits. A quick note, though. How bad does that perjury have to be executed for it? I mean, that is one of the rules of the Strigoi, but it sounds a bit strict. Lie to get out of jury duty and face the hangman's noose? With a justice system like that, who's worried about the undead? Maybe you were just born weird.
I was born with it.
Born with a tail, a funny devil's birthmark, an extra finger, no salt in your mom's womb. Boom, you're a Strigoi. You don't even have to be interesting, just mildly inconvenient to those around you.
This is a matter of inconvenient timing.
Romanian folklore basically looked at every birth defect, social faux pas, and petty grievance and said, this baby is probably going to suck cows dry in 30 years or so. What do Strigoi actually do, you ask? Oh, just the usual wholesome activities. They show up late at night and drink blood, drain your energy, scream from the treetops, and give livestock what can only be described as emotional damage.
Well, he did some considerable emotional damage.
Some break into houses. Some stand outside and howl. Others shapeshift into anything from bats and snakes to weird glowing sparks that look like haunted fireflies with anger issues. Here's a legitimate case that happened recently. Romania, 2004. A man named Petra Toma dies. The villagers say, okay, that's cool. Now let's wait 3 business days to see if things start getting weird. Sure enough, people start getting sick, so what is the next logical step? Well, obviously, they dug him up, ripped out his heart, burned it, and drank the ashes and water. No cream, no sugar. They drank that guy straight up. The police were slightly less enthusiastic. They arrested the family and all of those people who did the desecration. But according to people around the town, people and livestock stopped getting sick after it was done. Whether it was the Strigoi ritual that saved the town or just Mama's chicken noodle soup, who knows? This was 2004. That's the same year Gmail launched. People were sending e-cards and drinking Vampire Heart smoothies within the same solar cycle. Romania doesn't mess around when it comes to undead maintenance. If someone dies suspiciously, or if it just looks like they might start hovering, it's time for protocols. They'll stake the body, behead it, bury it face down, and then jam garlic in the mouth and the ears. And they'll often force the corpse to watch the entire Twilight series.
We're just watching Twilight, see?
And if all else fails, they'll bring in the nuclear option. A 7-year-old child in white on a white horse trotting through the cemetery like something out of a Rob Zombie Halloween sequel. Some people confuse the Strigoi with the sleek, seductive vampires of the West. Those ones living in castles that have meaningful stairs. The Strigoi live under potato sheds and smell like disappointment. They're not flirting with you in the candlelight, they're chewing on a goat's neck in a bar. They're not writing poetry, they're cursing your wheat, making your chickens cry. This is Eastern European vampirism.
It's Eastern European, I think, but it means different things.
No glamour, just guilt, garlic, and aggressive undead spite. And guess what? they're still kind of around. In rural areas, people still do anti-Strigoi rituals. St. Andrew's Night, November 30th, is basically like their version of stay inside, garlic up, and trust no one nights. Garlic sales skyrocket. Family members eye each other with suspicion, and sheep get very suspiciously quiet.
Don't worry about the sheep.
Meanwhile, tourists are lining up to do vampire tours. They're out there posing with Dracula mugs while Grandma is hiding a crucifix in her apron, just in case the neighbor dies wrong. You can book a vampire tour, or you can visit someone who actually drank ashes in a soup bowl. Romania's tourism slogan should be, "Come for the castles, stay for the undead-related agricultural trauma." Back to you now, still at that strange funeral in the graveyard. The coffin creaks. The garlic guy starts muttering something in Latin. It sounds like he's ordering demon takeout. The horse snorts. The kid looks terrified. You decide to quietly back away and head back to your car. Once you're back on the road and driving away from the angry villagers, you call your 6 older brothers. You text your 6 uncles and let them all know that you're okay. As you drive away, you shift in your seat, moving around so that your vestigial tail doesn't bother you. You scratch your devil's birthmark, glad that the kid on the white horse didn't look your way. You drive into the forest and make a mental note to come back to this village someday. Those sheep looked awfully tasty. Like your folklore horrifying, oddly bureaucratic, and somehow strangely often farm-related? Hit that subscribe button. Ever had to drink something weird to keep a dead relative in their grave? Tell us about it in the comments. No judgment. No, just kidding. We'll completely judge you. And remember, just because someone's dead doesn't mean they're done. Like everything else in life, it's only over when a kid on a magical horse says it is. See ya.